is a story, my story about an unsolved or partially solved medical mystery. I have a history of kidney infections, and I get one every couple of years. And the symptoms are a high fever, a dull, constant throbbing in the lower right or left back, general misery, and unfortunately the propensity for the kidney to empty its contents into the bladder, which with gravity's help empties itself out onto whatever is directly below it. That's pants, the floor, a target, or ideally a toilet. So the medical term for what I have is acute idiopathic pyelonephritis. I'm a researcher by training, and if I'm going to suffer these kind of chronic health problems, I'm going to find out what it's all about. If you're going to be socially humiliated on a regular basis, it's good to understand what's going on. So the medical term for what I have, and it's not that interesting or different than what a lot of people have, is acute idiopathic pyelonephritis. Acute means, this is from the medical dictionary, it's the Greek word for sudden, or where the hell is the bathroom. Idio means, it's from Latin for idiot. Pathic comes from the late Latin word pathos, meaning pathetic or sufferer. Pylo comes from the Greek word puelos, meaning basin, trough, or it's too late, I'm already peeing my pants. And neph comes from the Greek word nephros, meaning a nerve football-sized kidney, which is what I have. And itis, of course, comes from the Latin word for ick. So in 2008, I had a kidney infection on my right side, and it wasn't responding to the antibiotic that they give you, which is lidocaine, which I can't recommend one bit. I think there's like late night TV ads for medical class action malpractice lawsuits that I joined, half a dozen of them, and I'm very confident I'm going to get $14 one day. But I was virtually housebound for the fear of the obvious. I was going to pee my pants anytime in public when this happened. So my primary care doctor, she referred me to a urologist to figure out why this was going on, and I called to make an appointment with this guy, and he told me I had to go, or he didn't tell me, of course, his woman, told me he had to go get a CAT scan before going in to see him. So I went to the radiology department at Northwestern Hospital, and if you've ever been there, I think it's on the 4th floor of one of those pavilions, and there's probably like 50 people waiting to get their body parts scanned, and by the time my name was called, about an hour later, I had diagnosed each stranger's ailment. Because I'm a serious waiting room rubbernecker. As my mom says, and she was supposed to be here, but she's not, her standard line in situations such as this is, "I'm not judging, I'm just interested." So eventually this woman comes out and calls my name, and it's Northwestern, okay? We go there for a reason, right? But she's wearing a khaki pants, a Western shirt, a bolo tie, a large silver and gray belt buckle, cowboy boots, and a straw cowboy hat. And it wasn't Halloween. So she leads me back, she's super chatty, and I'm on the CAT scan table, and Dusty Acres, or whatever her name was, she's sitting in her control booth, and she's blaring country music, and she's talking to me over the intercom, like she's talking in a way that suggested to me that she thought I was nervous, but I really wasn't. And she's asking, "Are you comfortable?" And then she's telling me, "Hold very still." And so this was going on for a while, and all of a sudden the country music just turns off. "Miss Morris, are you sure you're here about your right kidney?" I said, "Uh-huh. Why?" So Dusty Acres whispers into the intercom, "I'm not supposed to say anything." Like, "What do you mean? Dusty, come on. You can't ask a person, 'Are you sure about your right kidney?' And then you don't say, 'I don't know, give me a break. What is going on?'" She goes, "I'll be right back." So off she goes. She said, "I got to make a phone call." So I pictured her like, she's sort of like a cowgirl. I thought she was going to go, to the town switchboard, ask Beulah to patch her into Dr. Quinn medicine woman or something. "We have a super special case if you can make it out here, over the rise." Dusty turns her back. She turned back on the country tunes, and I'm thinking, I want to like this music. I should, I don't, but anyway, I fell asleep and I had no idea how much time went by, and all of a sudden her voice comes back on the intercom and she startles me awake and she goes, "Okie dokie, Smokey, not a problem. I spoke to the attending physician and he said I should go ahead and scan your left side. Your urologist will tell you what's the haps when you go for your follow-up, okay?" So you can't tell me now. She says, "No, as I said, I just can't." So, I for one was very anxious to find out what the haps were about my kidney. And good thing my appointment was the next day. And I got to the office, the urology doctor appointment, and I'm the only woman in the waiting room, and the magazines are like Car and Driver and Golf Digest, and you get the idea. So I look around at the male patients, and again I start diagnosing what's probably wrong with each one of them. And there's only like one doctor's name on the door, and there's 8 patients, which it's not a good situation. You realize you're going to be there for a while. But the guy sitting across from me, he took a very wide stance, as that senator once said. And I thought, well, he must have a going problem or a growing problem with his prostate. And the man who's like a couple seats down from me, I thought, he had a backpack on his lap. And I thought, well, clearly he's there to consult with his doctor after experiencing an erection lasting more than 4 hours. If you get the gist, my knowledge of men's urological health extends to commercials during the Masters tournament. That's all I know. There's 2 things that can happen. You pee too slow, or 3 things. If you pee too slow, it gets too big, or you can't get an erection. So I'm led back to an exam room, and the first thing I notice is a custom toilet that's like popped out of this lower cabinet, which was kind of cool at the beginning, and then of course it occurred to me I may have to pee like with an audience or something. And on the counter next to this toilet, there's a really crumpled up Cosmopolitan magazine and a Victoria's Secret catalog. I thought I should see if the quiz has already been taken in the closet. I couldn't even. Like I thought I could just go to the cabinet, get their gloves on, and then take the quiz and put it back, but no. And then across the room there's like a cutaway of men's genitals, so that was interesting for a couple minutes. But I thought, it's quite possible I was the first woman to ever grace this room. I felt like it was like a true wilderness area that had never been touched. But I hear these guys talking out in the hallway, and eventually the door opens, and in walks this exceedingly attractive looking man who introduces himself as Dr. McDreamy. Actually, he said his name was Dr. Perry, but all I saw was Dreamy. And with him are 3 guys with the stethoscopes and the white coats, and he's got the gray coat, and they're med students. And I thought, oh great, I get to discuss my chronic pee problem with this dashing doctor who looks like he's about my age, and then these frat boys who look like they're young enough to be my sons. And then McDreamy plops down on his stool, and his demeanor turns from heartthrob to prosecutor all of a sudden. "So Miss Morris, where's your right kidney?" Here-ish? I'm pointing back here. "No, it's not there. It's withered away. There's only a small mass left. It's no bigger than a walnut." "It's more like a pecan," said one of the med students. "Who the fuck are you?" And so McDreamy says, "You have really no idea what happened to it? I'm all of a sudden I'm like on trial. So what do you think? It's like I got caught up in one of those organ smuggling, trafficking rings. It's like, yeah, I'm sorry. I woke up 2 weeks ago in Nogales, Mexico, in a bathtub full of ice cubes with a stack of gauze bandages. I couldn't admit it until this very moment." But as it turned out, it was actually only my left kidney that was infected. And on the computer screen, Dr. Not So McDreamy anymore was scrolling through the picture, and he showed me the CT scan of the images on each side of my body where my kidney should be. And the one on the left was oversized, and as he put it, seriously fluffy, as a result of the infection. It wasn't as big as a Nerf football, but it was getting there. And on the other side, sure enough, little idiot, looked like a pecan. It was like smooth and, ovate, I guess that's the word. So the doctors said it appeared like it hadn't functioned for years. And again, I felt, accused. Apparently he's ready to believe me, but I had no nefarious role in the disappearance of my kidney. So he said, well, have you ever experienced trauma to that area? Well, I told him I'd been hit by a car 13 years earlier, and I broke my skull and my back, and my right hip got really messed up, and a bunch of other stuff happened. But no doctor or anybody ever said anything about my kidney, my right kidney. So, long story even longer, it turns out that people, folks, just, your internal organs can be mortally wounded, and you'll never know. And the pain I was experiencing on my right side was phantom pain from the left kidney. So the pecan on the right somehow picked up a signal from the Nerf football and sent a message to my brain that medical attention was needed. And that's how I got there. So I think the next time I do Louder Than a Mom, or maybe a couple times from now, because I have to think it through, I can tell you about a story about an MRI I had about 5 years after that same car accident. I was having very severe headaches in my right frontal lobe up here, and the radiologist report read significant localized cortical atrophy. I didn't even have to look that one up. It's brain damage. Nobody, including myself, was surprised to find out I'm brain damaged. But at the very least, I'm able to talk and laugh about it. Thank you.